going to be my world?
When I was 11 years old, I started swimming with my coach, who I swam with my whole career, named Bob Bowman, and he kind of sat down with me when I was 11 and said, I started swimming with him when I was 9, and then at 11 he sat down and was like, "You can make the Olympic team." And I was like, "Cool, that would be awesome. Why not?" He's like, "You could do it in 4 years," and I was like, "Okay, let's do it." So I stopped playing baseball, lacrosse, and soccer, focused on swimming because that's what I wanted to do. My sister at that point was first in the nation and third in the world in '94 for swimming, and she was 13 or 14 or whatever, and that was her goal. And I had already seen her go to national teams and travel all over the world and see all these cool meets and places and experience all this. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to be a world record holder. I want to be an Olympic gold medalist. I want to be a professional athlete. That's what I want. And 4 years later, my coach took me there. I don't know what made me trust him right then and there. I actually it's fun for me now because so many more stories come up through this process. And if I look back to that moment when I trusted him at 11, I think it was almost really, I was looking for somebody who had confidence in me. And like a father figure who had confidence in me. And he showed that. My father was very absent at that time in my life, and my coach stepped in and he just believed that I could do whatever I wanted. And for me, I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's do it. Like, he would say jump and I would say how high at that point, so I still remember some of the sets that we did as a kid. And I mean, it's mind blowing to me now. And he just got me to that point, and I said, okay, well, what's next? And
why did you trust him?
I don't know. I really have no idea.
Because you've lived a life where it's hard to trust, right? A lot of times you've been taken advantage of. You've had people that are your friends put pictures all over the freaking world.
Sure.
So the trust that you built with him, did it grow anywhere else?
I mean, I think the one real special thing about our relationship and why we were able to have the longevity is because we grew together. We had to grow together because we were spending so much time with one another. So, once we got, when I was 18 years old, we had some struggles because he still saw me as the 11-year-old kid that he once did. And I was like, look, this isn't going to fly. Either we're going to have to change this or I'm never swimming for you again. And we had a lot of those kind of head-butting moments, I guess you could call them. And we just grew together and we wanted to do absolutely everything we could to be the best that we possibly could. And I think that's really what started us brought us into basically from 2000 or 99 to 05, 99 to 06, basically straight without missing a single day, 365 days a year. And
please tell people about your training regimen. I always use an example when people bitch about training twice a day, right?
So during that time, we were averaging about 10 workouts a week, 7 days a week. We had doubles 3 days a week. And they were 2-hour sessions in the pool. And then we had, hour and a half out of the pool 3 times a week, 4 times a week. But I'll share one story because we talked about it earlier. We would go to Colorado Springs to the United States Olympic Training Center, and we would train up there for 3 weeks, and we would spend basically all we did was eat, sleep, swim, and lift. That's all I did. And we would go from 5 to 7, 9 to 11, and 3 to 5 all in the pool, and then have a weight session afterwards. So we're having 4 workouts a day.
So incredible.
Over 24 days, we're probably working out with weights 75 times. We probably had 75 workouts in 24 days. So at that point, it was kind of like I saw myself improving so much because we weren't taking a day off. And in the sport of swimming, if you miss one day, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. So why
is that?
Just because you lose kind of the feeling for water and your muscles kind of get out of rhythm a little bit. I'm
just curious, is that true with snowboarding as well? No. Okay.
No,
just curious.
no. I'm just mind blown over here. Like, man, I went mountain biking occasionally. I'm like, oh man. You saw me in the gym this morning. I did a couple crunches and
you were on the Bosu ball over there, and you're like,
yeah, I think we're good. I'm looking pumped for the pool. We're good.
That's awesome.
But that was what I wanted, though.
So where did that drive come from? I know you wanted to. Lots of people want. There's things you want, and an unbelievable drive that just you will not stop. You'll do 4 and 5 workouts, whatever it takes.
Well, the biggest thing was after going to my first Olympics in 2000 when I was 15, I decided to not take a break afterwards and kind of get right back into it because it's the same thing that he was talking about.
Yeah.
I was upset with my performance. You know, I got 5th, and at 15, yeah, it's great, but I mean, let's be honest. I don't want to come back with a participation like ribbon. Like, I want to come back with real hardware. Like, I don't want this ribbon. So I was pissed about it. Like, that's just what I wanted. So I was like, all right, cool. So we got back in the water the next day. Everyone else took like a month or 2 off. And I remember the very first workout we did as the meet's going on, Bob has WR written on the top of the workout. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I know what it means, but like, why are you writing it here? And he's like, because we're going to break a world record in 6 months. I was like, all right.
Decide.
Yeah, let's do it. Cool. I'm in. 6 months later, first world record. 6 months after that, broke another one, won my first world championship. And he just started proving to me that he could get me to these certain places. And we just started pressing the envelope even more. We're like, all right, what do we want to do next? How big can we really take this?
Yeah.
And you know, I remember sitting with my agent when I was 15, 16 years old, and I just said, I want to do something that nobody else has ever done in the sport. I want to do something different. I don't want to be the second Mark Spitz. I want to be the first Michael Phelps. I want to do something nobody else has ever done.
That's awesome.
And that's honestly really just what drove me.
One of your competitors said you would never be able to do that.
Thorpe.
Tell us about Thorpe. And did that drive you?
No, Thorpe. He knows. Him and I have spent so much time in the water and so much time competing against one another. And
for those who are not from Australia, you might
Ian
clarify.
Thorpe. Ian Thorpe's arguably one of the greatest swimmers in the world. Incredible competitor, great guy. And he said in 2008, he said it's impossible for somebody to win 8 gold medals. And I was like, all right, well, wait and see. But he actually said in 2016, going into 16, he said no one over the age of 30 can win an individual swimming Olympic gold. And I was like, all right. So I finally said something to him afterwards. I was like, dude, you just have no confidence in your boy? He goes, no, I know how your mind works. And I know how much that would give you to help you really kind of fight through it. And watching that 200 fly where the Japanese and the Hungarian were basically running me down. If we had one more meter, I wouldn't have won that race. So it was good. So it really did help push me to get there and to finish how I needed to.
How about when you win by 1/100th of a frickin' second? Right? Like, what's going on in your mind there, and how do you do that? I mean, that isn't just skill. That's something in you that just won't be defeated, isn't it? What is it?